familiar with the ABS system?
I am.
So now we both know I actually worked on an early iteration of the ABS system. I worked for MLB AM, Advanced Media. I was actually the operator out of the Somerset Patriots when they first ran it and they first had it working in the Atlantic League, where I would attach, a little earpiece to an umpire, connect it to a system in their pocket, and then they would have TrackMan read the strike zone from a camera, feed it to both the system in the umpire's pocket and a laptop I had in the press box. And for the first part of the year, we would just gauge what did the system say and what did the umpires say and see how many differences there were. And then after about half a season, the umpires, they had to call exactly what the system said. If the umpire thought it was a strike and the system said ball, it was a ball, and then vice versa. So it was really interesting to see how that started, back in 2019, I think that was, to now. Now each team is only going to get two challenges. It's going to be a challenge system, not a full-on automatic robo-ump ball and strike system. And the reason being is they pulled players, coaches, executives, and other people around the sport, and they found that people want to have that human element still with the umpires. They don't want to get rid of pitch framing from the catchers. It's an art form, it's a talent, but they want to get things right. So the new rule starting next season, each team's going to get two challenges. Only the pitcher, catcher, and batter can challenge. The manager can't challenge. The fielders can't. Nobody else can. Just those three. Now, in order to challenge, all you have to do, tap your head right after the pitch. You can't wait. You have to do it right after the pitch comes, and then you get that challenge. It adds a little strategy to it because you don't want to waste that challenge early on. If you're wrong, you want to use it in a higher leverage spot as opposed to a lower leverage spot. Like you're not going to use it on a 1-2 count on the third batter of the game, whether it's a strike or a ball. It doesn't make sense.
I believe, though, if the game goes into extra innings and you've used all your challenges from what I read, you get an extra one in extra innings.
So, yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
If let's say you're going into the 10th inning and you have no more challenges left, you'll be given one for the 10th. And let's say you use it in the 10th, you get another one in the 11th. Now, they don't compound. You don't get two in the 11th if you don't use one in the 10th. But in the extra innings for both teams, if you go into that inning without a challenge, you get a fresh one for each extra inning. So again, each team will have one challenge in each inning of extra innings.
And I'm assuming it follows the same rule as like during the game, that if they get the challenge right, they keep it.
Right. If you get the challenge right, you keep it, but you won't be able to get 2 or 3 or 4. You won't be able to build
up. It's just one.
Right. If you have both your challenges going into the extra innings, you still have both challenges.
Yeah.
You just won't get any new ones until you utilize those and start a fresh inning. So the reason, they're doing this, and I do want to add that this is not a ghost runner type situation. This will be used regular season and postseason. It is here. In spring training this year, that's 288 games. They averaged 4.1 calls, or 4.1 challenges, I should say, per game. That doesn't sound like anything too crazy. And that's including both sides. It's not 4.1 per team, 4.1 total.
That's just the whole game.
That's the whole game. And it took an average of 13.8 seconds to do that. It's a very quick challenge. And if you had to take a guess, which side do you think benefited more from the challenge system? The pitcher-catcher side or the offensive side?
I want to say the pitcher-catcher side.
Pitchers, catchers, that defensive side, they overturned the call 54.4% of the time. They were successful that percent, while the offensive side, it was literally 50-50 in whether they were right or wrong when they challenged.
Yeah. I just feel like it's easier for a pitcher and a catcher to see where the ball is, like in the zone, rather than a hitter, because a hitter thinks the ball's there, but it's really not, and stuff, unless it's like egregious and it's really, really bad. I mean, I've seen some really, really bad one this year. this year, really, really bad ones. So I'm glad they're doing this. I feel like it should have been done way earlier, way sooner. So, but I think you're going to see a lot of pitchers benefit this, especially the really good one, like especially like the top pitchers.
Yes, the ones that really know the zone. Even the best hitters are going to be able to benefit from it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where the reason they're doing 2 challenges per team is through their polling, through their, market research, they found that people want, no more than about 4 or 5 challenges a game. They don't really want it to be utilized that much. They just want to have it in their pocket, and 2 challenges fits in that, that bag right there. How do you feel about this system?
I mean, I think it should have been implemented like literally
Right.
like this year. Honestly, I mean, they did it in spring training and worked really well.
But
I
all the
mean,
little intricacies, the 2
yeah,
challenges, would you want there to be more or less? How do you feel
I
about the
think
extra inning rule?
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, I was kind of iffy on it, if like how you said they first did it, where they were just calling what the thing said in their ear when you
And
first did it
when they did
around
that,
there. Yeah,
the issue was that a majority of the pitches were called balls because pitches were, thrown outside the zone and just missing,
just
or they were pitches that started out of the zone and crossed in too late, and
so
that was an issue they were facing.
so. I mean, that would have been like one issue I would have been worried about, is just like having the system call the balls and strikes and taking the human element out. But it's like at the same time, I would have been okay with it for how
Right.
bad the umps have been lately. Like it seems like they just keep getting worse and worse every year. So I mean, I would have been like, fine, if you're gonna get the right call, get the right call. But to have like two challenges, you have 2 challenges, and if they get it correct, they keep them. I think it's good because I mean, that's about, I mean, how many really bad pitches there are that change like a game? There's usually about 2 or 3 in a
Right.
game. So if you can, because I mean, if you look at I mean, because most stumps, I believe, if you look at, I think like the umpire scorecards on Twitter or X, whatever it is now, usually are up in like the high, like 98, 97% for calling games. Like most stumps do pretty well, and they
Right.
keep a
Yeah.
pretty consistent
There's
zone even if
always
they are calling it wrong.
always room for improvement.
Yeah, but there's usually like a couple pitches here and there that can change a game. So I think the 2 challenges for a team is perfect, and giving them like an extra one, an extra innings, fine. Like I don't think it hurts, because you want to get the correct call. Like when it comes
Right.
down to it, you don't want to lose on a, you don't want to get rung up on a ball that's like 2 feet out of like, a foot out up from the
Right.
plate, which I've.
It would have put
So
Angel Hernandez out of a job if he wasn't out of one already.
so he could have
Now,
benefited from it actually.
no, because he would have fought it. He would have like thrown anybody out. Anybody that wanted to challenge him, he would have chucked them.
He would have just saw it up and just
Yeah.
called the wrong thing anyway.
It's interesting. I'm curious at how this is going to really work and how the adjustment period is going to be.
Well, I think the players liked it in spring training, and I think a
They
lot of
said that they
them.
had like I think it was like a 60 to 70% like positive favorability.
So
That's not
I mean,
bad at
that's
all.
pretty good. I mean, when you look at, I mean, that's for most things set aside. When you get about 70% of people positive about it, and the rest will probably, they'll get used to it. So I
Right.
think I don't think it'll be a big deal.
I'm pretty purist on when it comes to baseball. I'm pretty sure I've established that. I think I'm fine with this, and I still just hope that they phase out the pitch clock because pitch clock violations are the stupidest thing in all of sports.
I dislike that. I mean, I think I'm with you, like baseball purists too, kind of thing. I think the ABS system's fine.
I
I
think
think
that's
it's one of those
fine.
things needs to kind of happen, especially with how it is. I don't think they should be adding more
Right.
challenges or anything. I think this is where it should be at.
Right. This
Pitch
is the
clock, no.
example of like a
Yeah,
positive rule being added
positive
to
rule
help the
change.
sport as opposed to the ghost runner, which is a negative rule, and the pitch clock, which all you had to do was implement it in the minors and let the majors, kind of run on their own time because then you'll get guys conditioned to pitching quicker
That's
without a
exactly
clock.
what I say. Yeah, because I mean, if you put the pitch clock in the minors, I mean, they're going to have a faster. They're going to go through their stuff faster and everything. And if you want to do the ghost run in the minor games too, that's fine. But it's like when you do playoff baseball, you don't have ghost runners. So
Right.
like, that should tell you everything that you need to know right there.